When you look at the Orthrus from a certain angle, the ship does look like a frog, but up until this moment I thought that it looked like a kite. Well, I guess this ship can be called the Space Frog. It does suit the whole design quite well. Oh well, I still love the Mordo ship designs, one of the best designed ships in EVE. So, all Mordo ships received a buff on damage and they received a buff on the tank. Basically, they're now doing a little bit more damage and they are a little bit more tanky. Now, the roll bonus on the Orthrus remains the same as with the other Mordo ships. I would say they gave the Orthrus plus 1% medium missile torpedo damage on the skill per level bonus, while the other skill per level bonuses remain the same, which is okay. They are already very powerful. The slot layout also remains the same. The Orthrus still remains a shield tank, and the rest of the numbers seem to be okay. Now let's take a look at the fit. This is where things get a little bit interesting. I used to fly the Orthrus mostly as a kite, and I didn't use the Orthrus as a brawler or a mid-range combat ship. Now I changed the rigs a lot and the weapons. Instead of using B types and A types, now I use C types. Currently I have the quad disruptor setup. This is for maximum tackle. Works really well in a fleet. Works really well if you have a alt for scanning. Although I would still say that you should use at least one scrambler and one web. That's because there is a lot of interceptors and a lot of frigates that can be a threat to the Orthrus. Now let me quickly steal one Predator web from the Ashimo. Not quite sure where I lost my other 16 Predator webs, but I'll just borrow the 2 webs from the Ashimo and let me go back to the Orthrus. The dual point, one scrambler and one web seems to be the ideal setup for the Orthrus if you like to roam in nullsec or if you like to roam in lowsec. But in my case, I used to go with 3 points and 1 scanner, but recently I changed that into 2 points, 1 scrambler and 1 scanner, the combat scanner. 20.63 km range on the scrambler. Webs have 14.8 kilometers, while the points have 45 kilometers, and the rest of the modules are vastly the same as before. Now the rigs. Well, I decided to play around with the combat rigs and I made them a little bit cheaper than before. I use a mix between tier 2 and tier 3 rigs, while I keep the same good old triple auxiliary thruster setup. It boosts 1000 shield every 6 seconds, and that is indeed enough for the current setup. One thing that did change with the Orthrus and with the latest April balance patch is the capacitor. The capacitor on this ship is not the best, and since they changed the cycle time on the mic warp drive, the capacitor on the Orthrus runs down faster than before, and the capacitor battery is also a indirect nerf on the capacitor on the Orthrus because of the cooldown. Instead of being 60 seconds, now it's 90 seconds. And here I am playing around with the 2 tungsten nanocores that I have. One nanocore is for DPS, while the other nanocore is for speed. I like to change them from time to time, although I still prefer the nanocore for speed on the Orthrus. It does make a significant difference in the maximum velocity. 488 with the DPS nanocore and 500 plus meter per second with the speed nanocore. Now let's take a look at how fast the Orthrus goes with the micro warp drive. All ships have received a nerf on velocity, and the Orthrus is no exception. This ship used to go around 3.9, 3.6 kilometers per second. The resistance is also nice, 65, 76, 62, 68, 50, almost 50,000 effective hit points. DPS is almost 600, capacitor 52 seconds. So the Orthrus lost about 200 to 300 meter per second velocity, which is not a big problem because all ships have received the same nerf, so it doesn't change much at all. Alright, well, let's have some fun with the Orthrus. Let's see if the ship still remains as the best hunting ship. Now, the Orthrus is excellent against battlecruisers and battleships. For cruisers and below, I would say you should use rapid missiles or torpedoes. Rapid missiles can have very nice range. Our first target for today is going to be a Caracal sniper. Now, when I heard that we have a Caracal sniper in a mission, first thing that came to my mind is that this is a bait, because, well, most Caracal sniper pilots that I know use these ships for baiting, and the Caracal sniper is indeed a very powerful ship, and one ship that you have to be careful around. Now, this Caracal is using a very nice shield tank. I am orbiting at 38 kilometers. They are trying to slingshot my Orthrus. You can see the ship moving around, adjusting the orbit. They are also using medium missiles, although the medium missiles don't do a lot of damage. That's because the Orthrus can actually speed tank medium missiles quite well. And they are using a large neutralizer. So, that Caracal sniper has a very nice PvP fit. And here they are trying to slingshot me, or they are trying to escape the points. So I have to do some manual flying, just a little bit, not to let them go above 45 kilometers. I will try to maintain around 43 kilometer range. So far I'm doing that quite well. The tank on the Caracal sniper is still holding very well. Impressive tank. Now currently I'm trying to decide if they use dual medium shield boosters or if they use a large shield booster. And they're definitely using capacitor batteries, at least 1 or 2 capacitor batteries. But so far the tank on the Caracal sniper is holding really well. The Caracal sniper can actually tank a lot of damage, and these ships, like I said before, are very impressive. Now my capacitor is slowly running down. The large neutralizer does affect the capacitor a little bit. My capacitor battery is at 45 seconds into the cooldown. More ships are warping in. Now at this moment I'm actually very interested to know the fit on that Caracal sniper. Most Caracal snipers that I know use a armor tank, and that armor tank is really good. Now this Caracal sniper is using, I believe they're using the same setup, but instead of armor they are using shield, and so far as you could see they are tanking this Orthrus really well. My capacitor is at 27%, capacitor battery will be up and running soon. Okay, capacitor battery is up and running, shield booster up and running. And the Caracal sniper has been destroyed. That is one very nice Caracal sniper, and when I say very nice, I mean the build on that character sniper is very nice and impressive.
Warp drive
The tank
active.
is really good. Okay, well, let's go towards our next target. So, you could see that the Orthrus can struggle against a well-tanked cruiser. That's because the Orthrus is mostly designed to engage big ships like battlecruisers and battleships. For cruisers and frigates or interceptors, I recommend that you use rapid missiles, or for cruisers you can actually use torpedoes as well. Now our next target, we have a
Warp drive
Vindicator.
active.
I'm now warping towards the battleship. I'm using one target painter, one scrubber, dual points. As always, I don't use a drone on the Orthrus. The drone on the Orthrus is basically useless because, well, you are going to be orbiting at 40-kilometer range. The drone does not have 40-kilometer attack range, only 32. So, in order to reduce the cost if the ship goes down, I decided not to use a drone. The Vindicator has been tackled. They have a very nice armor tank. I'm orbiting at 40 kilometers. Basically, I do not want to get below 30 kilometers. Not sure if they have one of the new nanocores. The new nanocore on the Vindicator allows the ship to have up to 28 kilometer range on the webs, and if I get webbed, I'm dead. So range and speed is how you survive battleships in the Orthrus. Vindicator now at low hull, and they have been destroyed. Very nice. And well, this ship still has very nice alpha damage. It did have better alpha damage while I was using B types and A types, and it definitely had better alpha damage with the DPS build, but things have changed a lot, and now I mostly go towards a more balanced build on my ships. That also includes the Orthrus. I like that I have around 600-700 DPS with a very good tank. Our next target, we have a rattlesnake. Now here I have to be careful. There is a lot of storyline ships that have webs and scramblers. I definitely do not want to get webbed and scrambled, so I warped a little bit far away. That gave me enough time to think about a orbiting strategy around this rattlesnake. They are already into low shield, but I have to be careful. Don't want to get thrown in the other storyline ships. The rattlesnake is now into armor. I will manually orbit. We'll try to go towards the empty area where there is no ships, and I'll try to maintain 40 kilometer range to the nearest storyline ship. The rattlesnake is now into hull. I can orbit without the mic warp drive. We'll approach without the mic warp drive just in case if the missiles decide not to have enough range, because, well, missiles can do that from time to time. And the rattlesnake has been destroyed. Well, that was a very nice kill. 7.6 billion, very nice. And this rattlesnake had a whole set of nest form drone damage amplifiers. They are quite expensive modules, and I would say that was a very nice catch. Unfortunately, we did not get any B-type missiles, but that's okay. I'm still happy with the nest form drone damage amplifiers. They are still quite rare and quite expensive. Warping towards the next target. I believe we have a Armageddon. I will try to tackle the ship. Currently using the DPS nanocore on the Orthrus. There's the Armageddon. Excellent warping, right in the perfect orbit distance. They have been pointed. The ship is not orbiting for some reason. They have been tackled, and now I will orbit at 37 kilometers. The Armageddon can be a dangerous opponent, especially if they use medium drones and neutralizers. And of course, the Armageddon received one extra low slot, which made the Armageddon more tanky. They also received a new nanocore that improves the range on the neutralizers. So I am well within the neutralizer range of the Armageddon, and I have to be careful. I have to keep a close watch on the capacitor. If the capacitor is out, I will have to warp out. But so far, this Armageddon seems to be using large drones, and large drones are not a threat. I can easily speed tank large drones. Small drones do too little damage, while medium drones are dangerous. This Armageddon has a very nice tank. They are using, I believe, cruise missiles, although cruise missiles, large cruise missiles, will not do a lot of damage to the Orthrus. Surprisingly, this ship tanks missiles very well, unless it's a Typhoon. Typhoon has scary damage application, so they can be dangerous. Although I think my build can hold against a Typhoon for some time. Still have to fight a Typhoon to actually verify that, so we will see how that will end. The Armageddon slowly going down. They are now into low armor, taking some hull damage. They are now into hull. They are focusing the Stratios, although they should have kept shooting at me. And well, that was a nice kill, nice teamwork as well. Let me see what's inside of the wreck, or not, I guess. I was too slow. Let's warp away and let's wait out the criminal timer. That was a very nice catch.
Warp drive active.
Usually Armageddons can be quite tricky to tackle with the Orthrus because of the large neutralizers, but this one was actually very nice. Okay, let's go towards the next target. We have a Dominiks. Dominiks has already been tackled. They are slowly losing shield. They have been pointed and now in orbit at 37 kilometers. For some reason I forgot my fourth. Actually, I did forget I forgot one predator point, so I have to orbit below 45 kilometers in order to have full tackle on the Dominiks. Not quite sure how I messed that up, but I guess it happens. I have a lot of points in the station. Sometimes I accidentally click on the wrong one. Oh well, it happens. Dominiks now into armor. I'm doing full damage. The maximum alpha hit that I had on the Orthrus was 15,000 with A-type medium missiles, but I don't use A-type missiles on the Orthrus anymore. Those missiles have been turned into more ships. The Dominiks is now into hull. They are a armor tank. I think they were a armor tank, not quite sure. I saw the armor go up a little bit. Yeah, they are a armor tank. Okay. The Dominiks in low hull. One more hit and they should go down. Dominiks has been destroyed. Very nice. Let's take a look at the wreck. The Orthrus missile speed is actually very nice. I used to have them go around 25 kilometers per second, but that was a little bit overkill, and I did swap the rigs on this ship maybe 10 times. Some of these rigs were really expensive, and I think I will settle with a tank build on the Orthrus. That's what's working best, I think. That way I don't have to worry about taking any damage, because I can take some hits, and if I am taking too much damage I can easily warp out without worrying about the ship. But if you go full DPS on the Orthrus, well, that might be a problem, because then you really have to warp away on time.
Warp drive
A wrong decision can cost you the ship. Warping towards the next target, we have another Dominiks. Now, for some reason, this Orthrus does not like these drone boats, because in the last couple days I've only received Dominiks kills. Not quite sure how that happens, but the Orthrus does not like drone boats. Maybe because drone boats are actually the main threat to the Orthrus. Well, the Dominiks has been tackled. They are now into low armor. They are now into hull. By the way, joke aside, the highest threat to Mordu ships are drone boats, because drones are basically the only weapon system that can easily catch them if they are orbiting at a long distance from your ship. Or should I say, if they're orbiting at a long range, both actually work. But yeah, if you are fighting a drone boat, be very careful, because they can easily kill the Mordu ships if you have no tank. That's one of the reasons why I like to have a tank on this ship. I can easily tank drones for a while with this build. With the old build that I had, I couldn't tank drones for a very long time, because they easily go through the tank, and of course the resistances on the shields on these ships is not the best. Okay, we have a prophecy. I landed a little bit far away, but I'll be burning towards the battlecruiser. Hopefully they will not warp away. Okay, prophecy has been pointed. I still haven't replaced that one Cavalry Navy disruptor. That's again my little mistake here. But the prophecy has been tackled and they are now taking damage. Prophecy slowly going down. They are now into hull. I'm doing some very good alpha damage on that battlecruiser. And the prophecy has been destroyed. Very nice. That was a very nice little kill. So, like I said before, drone boats are the main threat to the Orthrus. Other ships like the Apocalypse Striker can also be a threat if they have pulse lasers. If they have beam lasers, you can easily orbit around 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers, and you should be safe from the beam lasers, but pulse lasers can be a problem. Apocalypse Striker can easily track, so if you engage those ships, use a tracking disruptor. All ships with missiles except the Typhoon are mainly and mostly easy targets. Now, this time I actually failed to catch this target. They have been expecting me and they were aligned towards the planet. Let me quickly go towards the planet and see if I can catch them while they try to warp out. Okay, I have landed and there's the Caracal Navy. And they warped away to the station or to the planet. Let's check out the planet. Maybe they did warp to the planet.
Warp
Who knows?
drive active.
Maybe I get lucky. The last time I engaged a Caracal Navy, I actually got a free Predator web. So I always go after all ships that I see. You never know what they can drop. And well, I guess this Caracal Navy did dock, and well, that was a nice attempt. Let's go towards the next target. We have Aguila, very nice. 30 kilometers away from me. Let's quickly point, and well, that was quick. I guess we had a little bit too much DPS there on that poor Aguila. Oh well, was a nice target.
Warp drive
Let's
active.
warp away. And I just noticed I have been using the DPS nanocore on the Orthrus.
Warp drive
I
active.
actually have 2 blue cores and I think 1 purple core on the Orthrus, although I rarely use the purple core for some reason, not quite sure why. I prefer the blue one. Does work really well. I like the extra speed or the extra damage that I can have on this ship. Now I warped, well, this is, yeah, a very unlucky. I landed 127 kilometers away from Dominiks. Hopefully they noticed me. I thought that they did not notice me, but they did. And they locked me on. I'll try to approach them. I need to be within 45 kilometers from the Dominiks. But they warped out. Oh well, my fault. I warped at the wrong moment, from the wrong angle, from the wrong gate. And well, I did miss this Dominiks. They warped away. Let's go towards the next target.
Warp drive active.
There's the Cinnabon. They still have shield, although the shield on the Cinnabon going down. That was a very nice warping, right in the optimal range of my points. Cinnabon lost shield, they're now losing armor. Cinnabon now into hull, and I think the last, well, that was lucky. I got the kill on that Cinnabon as well. Oh well, that was nice. Very good timing on the missiles. Well then, that was one very nice Orthrus roam today. We caught and we destroyed a lot of ships, a lot of expensive ships to be more accurate. So, how does the Orthrus perform after the balance patch? Well, it already performed really well before the balance patch, and after the balance patch it still performs really well. Although you have to be really careful around ships with large neutralizers. Be very careful around Balgorns. These things can easily empty your capacitor even from 50 kilometers if they have the right nanocore. But overall, for basically any other ship, the Orthrus will still run really well, and I would say the Orthrus still remains the best hunting ship in the game. So with that being said, hope that you enjoyed, hope that you had fun. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.